Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn history, today Assyria, and after we've done that, we're going to do shoulder impingement training. And if you participate in a shoulder impingement training, then it's werdet ihr auch das. Now this is part 4 something of Assyria, so we are pretty fine into the subject. Assyria. The Assyrians came originally from the upper Tigris Valley around the cities of Ashur, Nineveh, and Abela. I don't think we're going to mention it. Okay. 4,000 years ago, the Amorites came to the region Assyria. Is this the region Assyria? I'm going to say that to understand that. To the region Assyria. And then a huge empire was built up under multiple Amorite kings. 4,000 years ago. Then 3,400 years ago, or after lasting for 600 years, the old Assyrian Empire broke down through attacks of the Mitannian horsemen. But then, 3,000 years ago, King Tiglath-Pileser, Mitannian, Tiglath-Pileser. King Tiglath-Pileser, 3,000 years ago, did conquesting and created the new Assyrian Empire. And then it reached its peak under King Tiglath-Pileser III, 300 years later, but then broke again down 2,600 years ago. So the new Assyrian Empire lasted for 400 years. It broke down through attacks of the Medes and the Babylonians. It were the Amorites coming to Assyria, and when did we have Samaria? No, we had no one here. No king mentioned here. Here's one written. King Adad-nirari the first called himself king of everything, but we're not going to mention it here now. On the other hand, he's probably a very important king of the Assyrian Empire. King Adad-nirari the first. Adad-nirari. There was, for example, the king Adad-nirari the first. He called himself king of everything. Adad-nirari. And when 3,400 years ago, it broke down the empire through attacks of the Mitannian horsemen. But 3,000 years ago, under King Tiglath-Pileser I, it was recreated now as the new Assyrian Empire, because this King Tiglath-Pileser I didn't do conquesting. And then 300 years later, it reached its peak again with the new Assyrian Empire under King Tiglath-Pileser III. But when a century later, so all over 2,600 years ago, through attacks of the Medes and Babylonians, it broke down again. But during the time while the Assyrian empires existed, there were many good roads built to bring warriors all over the empire to create troubles, or to, or to move warriors from part to part, and these warriors they had iron swords and spears and chariots and bows. And they also built huge magnificent cities out, for example, Korshabat and Nimrud. Adad-nirari. Do we know what's that? Adad-nirari. King Adad-nirari the first. And for example, Nimrud and Korshabat. Nimrud. King Adad-nirari, the Mitannian horseman, made the Babylonians with attacks, and it was King Tiglath-Pileser. And it was Nimrud and Korshabat. Nimrud and Korshabat. And the people, when we were living with the Assyrians, they took great regard on fancy clothing and on luxuriant houses as a symbol of a great status. And there was, for example, King Ashurbanipal, and he had a palace filled with books and plants from all over the world. And we were also doing skillful stone carvings. Okay, we have a story, I think. 4,000 years, then 3,400 years, last 600 years, the old Assyrian Empire, and then 300 years later, so 3,100 years ago, King Tiglath-Pileser I, then recreation lasting for around 500 years until 600, and then broke down Babylon's and Medes attacks. These are the dates, and the persons are Babylon's Medes the attacks, and King Tiglath-Pileser I, the conquering, and the third one, the peak, 700 before Christ, and it was also King Adad-Nirari I, who called himself king of everything, Adad-Nirari I, and it was, I forgot one of his palace, and the Mitannian horsemen, now, and who was it now, King? Ashurbanipal. It was Ashurbanipal and Nimrod, and Ashurbanipal. Tiglath-Pileser, Nimrod, Ashurbanipal, Adad-Nirari. Is that right? Adad-Nirari. Ashurbanipal. Let's try it. I have a second camera, I don't understand now. Let's try. If it's actually Assyria, the title. The Assyrians came from Upper Tigris, Ashanti, and Arbela, and Assyria was invaded by the Amorites. No, the Assyrian had started earlier than 4,000 years ago, because there were already the Assyrians. Assyria. 4,000 years ago, Assyria was invaded by the Amorites, and under these Amorites, this old Assyrian Empire was built great out. And there was, for example, King Adad-Nirari I. He called himself king of everything. Then 600 years later, after this old Assyrian Empire had lasted for 6 centuries, it broke down through attacks of the Mitannian horsemen. But then, 3,100 years ago, there was then King Tiglath-Pileser I, and he did conquesting, and he created through that the new Assyrian Empire, which lasted until 600 before Christ, so for around 400-500 years. And it reached its peak under King Tiglath-Pileser III, then 700 before Christ. It broke then down 600 before Christ after lasting for 400-500 years because of attacks of the Medes and the Babylonians. And while this new Assyrian Empire then lasted, there were many good roads built to bring the warriors and soldiers from one part of the other of the empire, and these warriors were fighting with iron swords and spears and chariots and bows. And the people, they took great regard on their fancy looks while they lived in these magnificent cities, for example, Nimrod and Khoshabad, and also on luxuriant houses, and they were doing skillful stone carvings. And there was, for example, King Ashurbanipal. He had a palace with plants and books from all over the world. And that is according to Miles Kell's World History, page 90 and 91. I think I forgot something, but I don't know what it was. And then I wanted to go back. What did I not? I mentioned King Adad-Nirari I at the beginning, and at the end Ashurbanipal. And I think I did the rest. That means we have our video. I'm going to stop the camera. And that was history, Assyria. If you were here for history, you can already do the next part of history. Because we will do now the shoulder impingement training. If you stay and participate in the shoulder impingement training, then it's better your arm is good and stable set. And we go back with the shoulders, and up, the front and down, and we're repeating this circle a couple of times. And backwards. And now Long arms, strong fists, and go as far back as you can with the shoulders. High up, and front, and down, and again back. Up, and front, and down, and now backwards. High up, and back, down, front, up, down, and back. And now we're doing the accelerating motorcycles. We go into the knees, legs wide apart, hinge forward with a straight back, let the arms sink, make fists, and pinch the scapulars. Down back fists, pinch the scapulars together. Now back fists, the arms up and pinch the scapulars together. Release the arms, then the shoulders. The second round, pinch the scapulars together with effort. Make fists, lift the arms up and still pinch the scapulars together. Arms down, shoulders down. And now the sheet jumper. Into the knees, hinge forward with a round back, let the arms hang, make fists, turn the arms to the inside, lift the arms high up, bring them together, straighten up, bring the shoulders down, together. And release. And the second round, into the knees, hinge forward with a round back, let the arms hang, make fists, turn the arms to the inside, lift the arms high up, bring them together, straighten up, bring your shoulders down and together. That means the arms high up and together, the shoulders down and together. Now just lift the arms up. If this exercise causes pain, then don't do it. Or if any other exercise causes pain, then don't do it, then that's the not. Another time. And now the arms to the side and in front. And now we will lift our long arms, strong fists, shoulders back and together. Turn the arms to the inside and the shoulders down, hands together with effort. And the arms to the outside, the shoulders are staying down and together. And arms to the inside, shoulders down and together. Arms to the outside, shoulders down. Next exercise, arms actually to the outside, to tee up, in front, and turn to the front, shoulders down, hands together. And change, arms back, and this time also the shoulders changing up and in front. And after front, shoulders down. Arms back, shoulders up and in front. And release. Now shrug. Lift the arms up. And shrug, shoulders up. And go down. Again, in the arms up. Shoulders up. And go down. Arms up. Shoulders up. And go down. And now the sunlight. I'm using a sock. You can do something else. Have it with the long arm at the outside. Let it fall down and try to catch it with a straight arm again. And on the other side. And last exercise, stretching exercise. One arm in front, the elephant trunk. Shoulder back and down. Pull the arm in, have fat fingers, try to relax the arm. Go with back with the shoulder, turn the fist up to the sky. The palm of the hand. And we're changing. The other arm in front, shoulders back, shoulder back and down. Pull the arm in, have flat fingers, try to relax the arm. Go with back of the shoulder and then the palm of the sky. That was a short and patient training. I thank you very much and until next time.